welcome to Plan, Prep, Pray. Hey girlie, my name is Wendy and I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom of 4 little ones, and on this channel I talk about all things homeschooling, homemaking, mommy self-care, and kids empowerment. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. All right guys, this is real life. I was not planning on doing this video, but you guys asked for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it done. I have little ones very active and in the background, so you might hear them, but I really wanted to get this out for you guys soon. So here we go. Okay, this might be split into 2 separate curriculum, 2 separate videos. One for the math curriculum because I have levels 1, 2, and 3, and then the preschool curriculum as well. Sorry, I just remembered I had more books from the preschool curriculum. So here we go. So the first thing is their preschool curriculum is kind of divided into 2 sets. They've got the 3 and 4-year-old preschool notebooks, workbooks, and then they've got the separate workbooks that are pretty much from, I believe, A through L or K. I think it's L, and it just dives further and even more into even more things. Now, for A, so starting with A through D, the preschool set, it starts with about 3. All right, so I have my little one playing with blocks. While I go through this, my 3-year-old has actually completed this workbook already, and he did it in like a week. It's very simple. So it's pretty much just you tell the child to trace from here to here. It's got a little story. Most of the sections do. This one says Samuel and Sarah are 3 years old. They like to help their dad and mom work in the house and on the farm. Draw lines to match the pictures that are the same. And so he just drew the line, and it has them first stay within these confinements, stay within these borders, and then draw a line. So super simple. Then, so you're doing the same thing, and then it gets a little more complicated. So now they're having to go and draw lines, but that are up and down and in the X motion. And so it helps them with the wrist rotation and the different ways that lines can move and keeping them within the boundaries. Then it goes into, which picture is different. Put an X, since now they've taught them how to do an X. So now they're being told to put an X on the picture that is different. More drawing lines within the borders. And it gets more complicated. So you can see he got a little confused. And then they begin to start on just tracing. Now we begin practice with tracing and trying to stay within these dotted lines right here. So they begin now tracing straight lines. So what I like about it is the progression. The progression makes sense. So from not having to trace a line to tracing a line to now working on the number 1. As you can see, he got 1 happy down here. And I use this pretty much as like extra seat work for him, so I don't need it to be perfect. So more tracing, but this time within borders. And then now we begin to work on circles. So, oh, he's not done. He still has a few more pages. Sorry, he hasn't finished. So he's going to be doing matching practice here, but not right across from each other. So rake to rake. This is going to be complicated. Look at that squiggly line. And for me, this is not about perfection as much as it's just about practice. This is not his core curriculum. This is extra for him. So that's about 3. Then we go into bigger steps. Now, bigger steps is somewhat the same as about 3, except about 3 in between here, there was no dotted line. Now there are dotted lines in between to let them know, hey, you got to stay on these lines when you go across. Same thing, within each one now you're going to find dotted lines. So I'm going to quickly flip through this. And now we're working on number practice. So work on number 2. Then we go into color, count, and cut. Mine has chocolate fingerprints from my baby girl. Okay, so now we're going to be working on colors in this book. And so there's a little note to parents which pretty much says how, like, you know, that you should encourage the child to color within the lines and to, you know, follow and make sure that the colors that they're doing is like the color that it says and stuff like that. I'm not as crazy about the coloring in the line thing. I'm like, there's 3, but there's some notes there. So what it pretty much does is it teaches the color by a sign. So whenever the child needs the color in red, it's going to be a octagon. And it says color the sign, color the wagon and the sign red. Put an X on the picture that should not be red. So clearly that's the cheese. Then whenever you see a triangle, it's going to be yellow. Not only by that color, but the shape too. Just different ways for them to recognize when they must color something a certain color. And I guess also it works on the word memorization. So it's kind of sight word here because they're not going to be reading at this point. So it's kind of like sight words. When they see these words in group together, they can guess it means green. So like, for example, here, you'll see the octagon for red, the yellow triangle, and the green rectangle to help them know that they're supposed to color this sign those colors. So I'm going to go ahead and flip through this. Okay, moving on to Adventures with Books. This one is a really good activity book to begin with. Now, Adventures with Books should be done at the same time as the Bible one and the C, which I'll show you later. But right there, I'm trying to show you that the instructions for the activity book are on page 63 and 64. You go to the back of the book, you will find all the instructions. And they even have instructions for specific pages. So Adventures with Books focuses on learning colors and shapes. Now, as you go through the book, you will see discussions at the bottom to have with your child and directions in regards to that specific page. Each page will have discussion and directions. And the pictures are nice and big and easy for little ones to color. The great thing about this preschool activity book is that it really works on mastering certain skills like reading from left to right. So you learn to color from left to right. You learn to follow directions and follow clear directions. And it places a great emphasis on those things. Now, like I've stated, I don't use this curriculum as our main curriculum, but it is a great supplemental curriculum and a great one to use for like if you do summer work and stuff like that. There are these cute little barn activities that you cut out and the child can play. That's so fun. So it goes over big, bigger, and biggest, small, smaller, and smallest, just being able to distinguish between those things. There's a lot of cutting and pasting as well to work on that skill with the little ones. Now, at the end of every activity book, there'll be a little story about somebody from a different culture, and I just love how you get to learn about children from all over. So I think that one was about a child from China. I think the next book might be, well, we'll see. I can't remember, but we'll see. Now, the Bible stories to read is so good, guys. Even my older ones love this. And so I tend to do this in the morning as a group all together. So A, B, and C, like I said, are all done together. So this is just if you want a screenshot to see all the different Bible study stories that are discussed from the Old Testament and the New Testament. Now, every Bible story has a matching coloring sheet, which is so nice. So I end up having to make 3 copies because even the older ones want to do it, like I said. And so it starts off with the story, followed by questions and answers and a Bible verse learned. It's so short, concise, to the point, very true to what the Bible says and not very, story form or kiddie form. Also, if you're unsure which picture goes with which Bible story, they have the little picture in the corner to remind you and to show you. And the wonderful thing about the pictures is they're nice and big, they're not very detailed, so my little one loves coloring them and doesn't get frustrated. also some sheets where you will notice numbers. Now, the key to the numbers are in the back of the book, but it's just about that following directions thing that they really want to emphasize. So you'll find it in the back of the book, what color goes with what specific number. Okay, now to Counting with Numbers. Counting with Numbers is the C book that I was talking about. Now, this book I think goes perfect along with Adventures. This book is more of a math-based book and focuses on all things numbers. And so we're going to be going through all the numbers and tracing them and practicing recognizing the numbers and practicing counting and all the things. So this is definitely more of the math portion of the curriculum. I just love how throughout the curriculum you'll continue to see just bringing it back to the gospel, bringing it back to the Bible and memory verses and all the things. Okay, now do it carefully. Do it carefully focuses on writing letters and hearing sounds. So there's a lot of handwriting practice here as well as sound recognition. now everywhere we go is a review. And so it's pretty much all the books wrapped up in one book and just a thorough review of everything that's been taught so far. Okay, last one, finding the answers. Finding the answers focuses on using thinking skills. So there's a lot of cutting and pasting with this one, pretty much every page. So that kind of makes it super simple to use. All right, as we're wrapping up this last one, I just wanted to hop on and say goodbye. I realized I didn't record an outro, and my kiddos are still screaming in the background. But I hope this was helpful. I haven't seen anything this thorough of a review of this awesome, very, very affordable curriculum. And so I thought I would do that. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions specifically about this curriculum. Please hit the like button and let me know whether or not you like this kind of flip throughs and stuff like that. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will see you next time. Here and here, and then it gets...
Bless me.